movie Jerry introduced to me called Double Down.
No! That's impossible. How can that be? That's impossible.
No, as soon as I got done watching it, I contacted you about it.
I've got so many questions. I'm so confused.
I didn't know about this movie, but apparently it's like got this like cult following. Well,
Yeah.
all four of the movies that the guy who directed and starred in this.
Neil Breen.
What do you have for me this time? Cryptography? Hacking into a banking system?
He's an architect that lives in Las Vegas that uses his money for his hobby, which is making movies. He's made 4 movies in the last like 10 years.
That's gotta pay pretty well though, being an architect.
It doesn't look like he spends that much money on them.
Well, you figure being an architect, don't you have to make a lot of models and things to show people what you're gonna build? I'm surprised he didn't bring more of that to, if he even does that, bring more of that to his films.
I can steal any car, anytime. With these electronic locks and ignitions. It's so easy.
This movie is garbage.
Well, before we get into that, let's talk about what it's about.
I'm just saying it to you.
It's about a secret agent who is a hacker and a biological weapons
Terrorist?
manufacturer,
Counter-terrorist?
in some ways.
It's all easy. Network-centric warfare.
So the movie starts up, and you get a lot of stock footage right away, and it's basically he's narrating the entire movie. It's like stream of consciousness kind of. He's telling you everything as he's thinking about it.
I've been giving away the money to children's support charities all over the world, orphanages, hospitals, and schools, and to support the evacuees of natural catastrophes all over the world, like hurricanes, like Katrina. I can do better for them than most mismanaged and dishonest governments can.
I think the first 5 lines are, "I'm the greatest everything that ever was," is pretty much what it all boils down to.
I can tap into any government secret system by way of my computers, cell phones, and satellites. Hell, I invented half the systems.
So he's pretty much the greatest anything that ever was.
Because that's all he talks about, and every time somebody meets him in the movie, another character, they affirm that he's the best that ever was. We don't send guys after him anymore.
You're a genius. The best. But you know that.
One of my favorite scenes is early on. He's going to meet one of the heads of. Well, see, it's
we're going too far ahead.
Well, let me say this. It's really unclear because in the beginning, he says that he works for any country who wants to terrorize another country.
Yeah.
And then he says he lives between this world and the next world.
I've always lived between this world and the other.
See, I assume what he meant with that is like the world of shadow governments and espionage.
Yeah.
Not like a mystical barrier.
I agree with you. I'm not like.
But then
totally
that line, then that's becomes bullshit later because the line kind of blurs a little bit.
That's what I'm trying to get at because he's saying all these things about what government he works for, but you never know who he's meeting with, what government is what. At one point he's crying, going, "They can't blow this up. I'm an American."
American! I'm an American! I love this country!
There was only 4 characters in that whole movie that I knew exactly who they were. And then the rest of them I figured out who they were when the credits were rolling and they named them. A couple of my favorites like CIA director, FBI director. I was like, oh, that's who those guys were. That still doesn't make any sense.
He has all the medals. He has been awarded with every medal you can get.
But he said he was a fighter pilot, and a lot of those aren't appropriate for fighter pilots to have acquired. It just, you know. Not to say that a fighter pilot couldn't, but it just seems highly unlikely that...
I've been awarded every medal. The Medal of Honor. The Medal for Meritorious Service. Defense Meritorious Service. Joint Service Achievement Award. Armed Forces Medal. Purple Heart. Heroic Meritorious Achievement. The Bronze Star. The Medal for Gallantry in Action. And I've never been so proud of our troops.
I have to live in my car. but I have everything I need. 4 laptops, 6 cell phones, 2 satellite dishes, and all the tuna I can eat. And he's talking about he eats tuna. There is tuna falling all over this man.
Do you remember when he opens his trunk and how many cans of empty and full tuna there are back there?
The first part of this movie, it's all about that terrorist stuff, like who we're doing, the bombing, we gotta shut down Las Vegas. Suddenly, he runs across this bearded old man whose head is bashed open.
He's got a nice bleeding head wound.
He falls down and his hand goes open and it reveals he's holding what looks like a chunk of fool's gold.
Anthracite. That's anthracite, right?
I don't know. That's why I said fool's gold. I don't know the real term.
I'm probably an idiot, but I feel like it's anthracite.
So this grants him mind powers, where he can. Well, the only real known power we know that he has from this rock is that he can cure.
No, that's
brain
bullshit.
cancer.
Because all it does is he says it can. That doesn't mean it happened. We saw no proof that happened. He just said it.
All right. So when he gets it, he immediately cuts to him eating dinner at like a Sunday dinner over somebody's house, and they tell the daughter to
brother?
go. I don't know.
I think that was his brother, right? Wasn't that his niece or something?
It might have been, because he had half a glass of wine, and he's like, "Can you fill this for me?" So she goes and the daughter goes and does it, and then while they're going, they're like, her brain is full of cancer, and he's like, "Well, that's pretty bad." So then when she comes back, he's like, it's just like this, and he goes, "No, thank you."
No, thank you.
What's really funny about that scene is normally in a normal conversation, that's where you say something nice about their daughter when she walks away, and instead of she's got brain cancer.
I want to share with you. Our daughter Megan was just diagnosed with brain cancer.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what normally you say.
Her brain is full of polyps.
She's getting straight A's, or she's very polite. But there's no way that cured her brain cancer.
Every new character you meet is the worst actor you've ever seen.
Is planning something very big. Bigger than 9/11 or any of the other large catastrophes we caught in time after 9/11. The public wasn't even aware of.
Oh, something an important thing we're neglecting to talk about is throughout the movie, Neil Breen experiences hallucinations of his dead wife and his dead parents.
Oh, I forgot
and he asks them if he's alive. He doesn't even know what's going on.
No.
Like, he wakes up, so he goes to sleep. He wakes up passed out under his car, and there's "Help Me" written in blood on the side panel. And
every day.
There's no one around but him.
Every day.
Neil Breen, I don't believe you're clever enough to write a movie where all of this is just some hallucination. Get out of here.
The parents, the hallucination, or where he sees his parents, and they're on like the.
How come they're wearing what are they called? Born again Christian robes. We're going down to purify ourselves in the waters and reconsecrate our bodies to Jesus Christ. The main plot is he's got 7 virus bombs in 7 cities, and if they don't cave into his demands, which are he's never made those.
More tuna.
He never made demands that he will destroy these cities with virus bombs. And I can't remember what happens to make him change his mind to stop it.
Oh, because he comes whole. Remember, like he comes to terms with
his hallucination dead wife fucking.
I'm assuming that's what was going on.
Yeah, that is what's going on.
My girlfriend and I always wanted to have children, and now all of that's been taken away from me.
So at the beginning of the film, he's discussing about how he was so close to being married. And then he became too powerful with his hacker technology and his biological weapons that the government feared him. And they couldn't assassinate him. No. Because if they did...
Well, we already know he's the best at everything.
There would have been a biological incident.
You want to heat that on yourself?
There would have been a biological incident.
We're talking about millions of innocent lives.
So they killed his wife instead. In a pool. They were swimming in a pool.
In a resort in Las Vegas.
Jeez.
So they shoot her in the back, and then she's floating face down in the water. And then Neil Breen starts doing the dead man's float right next to her, and it's like you can see his balls. There is nothing there but balls. That's all I saw. That's all I saw. That's all I saw. That's all I saw. Neil, can I level with you for a second? Why did I have to look at your balls for 5 whole seconds? Because you lingered on that shot for a long time. And I just want to know, Neil Breen, why did I have to look at your balls for 5 seconds?
This is a segment I like to call 5-second reflection on Neil Breen's balls.
5-second reflection on Neil Breen's balls.
Jerry.
Not now, I'm reflecting on Neil Breen's balls.
I want to know, for real, why was that in there? Like, not even joking, like, why do you think? Because I can't think of anything.
Well, alright, so I'm going to point out a few observations. His balls were hairless. So either he does that regularly, or he knew he was going to be showing his balls today. So he waxed them and then got on camera. What do you think my next question is?
You want to know if this is something... You're going to ask me, is this something that was premeditated?
Yes.
And yes, I believe it was. But still, that doesn't even come close to answer my question.
No, so now I'm gonna answer your question.
Oh.
Because Neil Breen is a genius.
I'm already mind difference from yours.
Oh, okay. I'd like to hear your answer.
He is not a genius.
5-second reflection on Neil Breen's balls.
We're looking at a man who has an enormous ego.
Mm-hmm.
That he thinks he is so great that it pours over even into his character.
You know what's funny? I think if he had a little bit of more self-awareness, I think he actually could make a pretty decent film.
Neil Breen, the 2 main story plot lines are he's a biotechnical counter-terrorist.
Which one's more important?
And the other one is he's
a troubled man dealing with the loss of his wife.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think about what's at the heart of this movie, and it's about...
tuna. I think it's tuna. It's tuna dropping on the crotch of old denim.
Yep. And then, like, the secondary one is, I wouldn't mind seeing a story about a guy who works for the government, and he can hold the whole world hostage like that. And he loses a loved one, feels like he has nothing left to lose, and is like, fuck the world, I'm going to hold it hostage, and then redeems himself. I think there's an interesting story there.
I think one of the most interesting parts of that would be putting anthrax in a river to kill fish to see if it would work on humans.
That's airborne.
But hey, Neil, Agent Brand.
He's squirting oh, dude, every time he talks about the virus, they show him pulling out a case of it and just, like, uncapping the needle, squirting a little in the air, or squirting some in his glove, or just, I don't know, he's whipping this shit around.
How irresponsible is the anthrax?
How does he not have contracted these diseases? He's spraying them everywhere he's walking around.
So he buys some off the black market. He buys some anthrax, and when he's doing the handoff, the guy drops it on the ground, and some just spills everywhere, and everyone's like, "Oops!" They're transporting anthrax like someone would transport heroin.
Which is funny about the anthrax is it's funny because it looks just like a 5-pound bag of flour wrapped in electrical tape. I kind of don't feel like this movie was written. I kind of feel like he went out there with a camera, some props, a bunch of people, and they were like, "Oh, wouldn't it be cool if we did this? Oh, wouldn't it be cool if we did this?" And then they somehow, well, they didn't edit it into something that's coherent. You got your bioterror, you got your madness,
testicles.
You got your testicles.
And hairless.
You got your light mysticism.
Where are you?
Neil Breen, if you're watching this, I want to write a movie for you. I want to write a script.
I want to party with you. I want to do cocaine in Vegas.
I just want to write you a screenplay for you to film. Don't worry, it will be about counterterrorism. And superpowers. And it will be about you being great.
No, there's no way he would let you write it.
Why?
Because this thing is an ego trip for him. It's all about his control.
You can rewrite it.
Dude, the whole story is about how he holds the world. He controls the whole world except himself. And I bet you working with him is really difficult.
Neil, if you don't want to be held down by this man's negativity, join the mic. What are you doing?
Nothing.
Oh, he goes, oh, I'm just going to win by touching you with my grubby mitts.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, they can't. So anyway, what are you...
I got you. Lenny, what does it smell like?
It actually smells kind of good.
Yeah, I've drank,
It smells like
Bullshit.
Today's the day I double down. The KFC Double Down. Double meat, double cheese, double bacon, double awesome. Get yours today.